Club was in, but I did do a little homework for you guys. I did the info and history on YMCA and how they came about, and I did the info on Boys and Girls Club and how they came about, so that you can see that they're both very similar programs and that they both serve the community in the same way. Everything that YMCA does, Boys and Girls Club can do also. So I wanted to make that established so the board understood that. So when I go further, you're going to know where I'm coming from. Okay? Is there any questions on that? No? Do you want me to?
Hate to interrupt. Did you state your name for the record?
I am Debbie Hall. I am the Chief Professional Officer for Boys and Girls Club of Wilson County. Anyway, it's very important. I really would like to thank the City of Floresville and the 4A Board for allowing us, number one, to go into that center. But I do see that there are some, I think I'm going to say communication problems because you know how things float around, and that's why I wanted to come to this board, because I wanted to see exactly how you guys felt and where you stood on the issues, where you can ask me questions personally that you might have on what our programs do there and what we're going to need out of that center. I have been told in the past that we have to pay rent there, and of course my understanding is that really we should be there via voter recognition that they wanted a program such as ours in there to run your recreational programs. The city and the 4A board was gracious enough to go ahead and offer us $100 a month. But as it is right now, we do, and we are the only entity in Wilson County that allows children to come into our program free of cost. So if that child is either on the free lunch program or if that child has a Medicare card, we do not charge them for the program. The only thing they have to pay for is their $10 membership. And of course that $10 membership goes for the liability insurance that we have to pay across the board to make sure that, you know, we and the city are not liable if anything happens. The thing that I am wanting to make sure of is that we have, for the last 2 summers, been running a summer program. That summer program usually takes up the whole gym area with the classrooms. And from my understanding, and I've just heard things through the grapevine, that's why I'm here. I want to make sure that we get the grapevine out of the way, and I'm getting it straight from the horse's mouth, that we're going to have to share that area because the 4A board wants to collect rents. If that is so, and that you feel that you need to collect rents, and we have our program set up for the summer, that means that we're going to be getting bumped. There's no way that we're going to be able to do a program and get bumped because we set those rooms up. For instance, the first summer we were there, we did a quality program and it was teaching the kids the 7 continents. So we had the arts that dealt with the 7 continents, arts and crafts. We did cooking with the kids. We did PE classes with the kids. We did reading with the kids. All of these programs plus our mini camps to make money, and those mini camps helped us make money run those because that first summer 70% of our kids were scholarship kids. Now, the second summer, which was last summer, we are expanding our program. We're still doing the 7 continents, but last year we started with North America. So we did the Trailblazers through North America. As you can see, it's just not a sports program. We are also contributing to the education of the kids and keeping their school education going all through the summer. So in North America, we started from Alaska. We went into Canada. We went into learning about the Trailblazers, the Eskimos, the Canadian Mounties. We did the Indians, we did the Cowboys, we did the Mountain Men, we did the Hawaiians, and we also went into Mexico and we learned about the Mexican nation. And it was cool. The kids had a blast. Our sports were all geared under each week, each theme. Cooking we did different types of the cooking. We did all our arts and crafts. To make a long story short, we're going to be doing that again this summer. We are getting parents that are coming up and thanking us because they can't afford, and I'm going to give you this, a witness from one lady came up to me, and it made me feel just so humbled. Because she said, I don't know what I would have done. She said, if you guys aren't here, she said, I work at Walmart, and I cannot afford to work at Walmart and pay for daycare. I was going to have to make a decision. Am I going to go ahead and work, or am I going to go ahead and quit because I can't afford the daycare? So, last year, 50% of our kids, which is better, 50% of our kids with scholarship for us because we're struggling to make these payments. And we were blessed because the city of Floresville went ahead and went in, did a grant with Phelps because they did that summer program. So Phelps donated to the city of Floresville $5,500, and then the city went ahead and matched those funds, and mostly it was in-kind funds. So that program, because the Floresville Independent School District had cut back their lunch program because we try to feed our kids lunch, but they cut out the snacks, so we had to use that money for snacks. We're going to go after that to see if the city will do that again and then come in with their half at in-kind again, which we have no problem with because we also use their city pool and we use other services from the city. But we're going to sit down and try to work with the city to bring that in because this year we want to expand. Our mini camps in the morning, I want to do a robotics class, Lego Minds, I think it's Mindstorm. I've got a lady that's going to come in and she's a teacher. She's going to teach fun with algebra and geometry. I have another lady that's going to be coming in and doing cooking, but it's not just going to be cooking. She's also going to be doing menus. She's going to be teaching the kids nutrition. All of this stuff is so important for our kids. And Boys and Girls Club, I feel, is a very good asset for this community. But we have to have the building, and we have an opportunity to grow. And I truly understand that you guys are under a big financial burden. I understand the whole story behind that. But I want to really stress to you to keep in mind that our summer program, if it's going to be working well, can't be in a position where it's getting bumped. We work with Gloria, and I try to work as well as I can. And just today I was in her office, and she was telling me, you know, she got some more people to rent out the gym. And I sat there and put it in my schedule book, in her schedule book. So we're trying to keep in link to make sure that we're not running over each other. Her and Carolyn have really been bending. Carolyn Palacios, before Gloria came in, has really been helping out the Boys and Girls Club by making sure that we have the gym and those classes and stuff. But the number one thing is I do not want to be signing a lease agreement where we're paying any fees. The lease agreement that was brought in front of us was a little bit confusing to me. Do you have that with you? There's things in there that I find, like for instance, we have to make the repairs. We have to make the repairs in this facility. Like say for instance, if something gets broke, it's going to be our responsibility to make the repair. But yet there's renters that are still in there renting the same stuff. But yet in this lease, we're going to be making the repairs. To me, it's like, guys, well, how do you know who broke it? Because nobody's going to be owning up to it. We don't have the money to be making these kind of repairs. Then there's something in here making a comment about cleaning and stuff, which we don't have a problem with cleaning up after ourselves. But we cannot be cleaning up after people that are renting. We can't do it. And Gloria and I have already talked about that.
What was that? I'm sorry.
About, we don't have a problem cleaning up after ourselves, and we do a good job. but that we cannot be in a position to clean up after those that rent. And it's just something that I just don't think it's fair. We do have a good reputation, I think, that Gloria and Alex and Carolyn could attest to, that we have been keeping our side very clean, especially over the summer. I mean, all of our volunteers, it's immaculate. We just had a fundraiser yesterday, and Gloria was there, and she saw that we left the ballroom immaculate and the kitchen. So we are very proud of that building. We want to keep it nice. We want to keep it clean, but we don't want to be asked for things that, you know, we're not responsible for. So I think when you go through this, you might see some of those things that are a little bit in conflict. And this is one of the reasons why I have not signed this. So I'm asking you on this lease that we do not pay a lease at all unless it's $1 a year.
On that lease, there's no rent. If you've read it.
Yes, the new one said no rent.
Yeah,
But
so-
the reason why we haven't signed this also was because of the conflict.
So
So
you've
that
been
is
in the facility how long? 2 years now? With no lease, no signature, no rent,
Yeah.
nothing.
And excuse me, but is that my fault?
No, I'm just making it clear for
Okay,
the record.
it's just because of the way you came across to me on that.
Mr. Chair, I do want to correct one thing. You mentioned something about repairs. You're only responsible for repairs to the damages that you cause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, but the way that read was,
No, read it. Jeff, read it. I
I
don't know if you read the revised one.
no, I didn't know that was revised.
All the time, all the things you're bringing up right now, I
Uh-huh.
think you spoke with Carolyn, she spoke with an attorney in our office, and all the things you're bringing up have been revised
Okay,
in the contract.
okay.
The
My
copy I
fault.
gave you was the new one.
Okay, I did not know, because I had talked to you since, and I just,
Because when Angie signed it, I went and gave you a copy.
oh,
of it,
I'm
so
so
you-
sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that was just taken out.
Well, and I have a question for you. I'm just confused. Why would you have to be cleaning up after other renters?
Well, it's been in a situation where they're short on staff. And they have one person in there doing the whole staff, and they just can't be everywhere.
Okay,
So-
so it was out of just volunteer or kindness that you were doing that, or I'm not
I
understanding?
had to do it because I had kids coming in,
Oh,
and I
okay.
couldn't have them coming into the restroom.
Okay.
It was after an oil group. But she's short on staff, so.
The
Right.
oil company
We're
pays
aware of
us to be there, correct?
I'm sorry?
The oil company pays to rent the facility and to be there?
And how we do this is if I have renters in those rooms over there, I make sure that James cleans up after them. That situation was because we were so tied up, we were trying to get ready for 2 functions, one right after the other.
Mhm.
And so James did not have time to go clean the restrooms.
Functions that paid.
Except,
Correct.
all of them.
And the cleaning cost is in the cost of the rental, or it's not for
Well-
these companies?
This is where we're gonna get to the
Okay.
pricing later,
Okay.
that I'm gonna explain to y'all, because a price was set, and I don't think it includes cleaning, but then again, I'm just following what was there.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one situation it was pretty hectic, because I couldn't let James go clean over there. James had to set up for a ballroom function for an event, a wedding that we were having on Friday night, and then one on Saturday night, so there was no way I could let James go over there.
And Gloria, how many times has this happened?
Just that one time.
Okay, so it's not an ongoing?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
No, because usually I make sure James, anytime I rent to the oil field people, I make sure that James goes over there and gets the bathrooms ready for her Zumba class or her adult class of volleyball or whatever she's having.
So Zumba and adult volleyball, how does that fall under Wilson County
It's
Boys and Girls?
fundraisers. We're doing, if you go on our webpage, we are doing the Michelle Obama, what is it? The health and wellness program that she's doing. What is it called? Come on, guys, y'all know it. I know it, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway.
They're fundraisers.
Yeah, so, not on the Zumba and the Pilates, we were doing it because we're trying to get into that healthy lifestyle and wellness thing, and I know the name of it, it's just right
So
there.
you charge these adults for the volleyball, for the Pilates, for
And
the
they know it's a
Zumba,
fundraiser.
and all of that money goes back into the Boys and Girls Club,
Yes.
is what you're saying?
Yes. Now, on the Zumba class, we have the instructors, and I allowed the instructors to come in. If it was Boys and Girls Club, parents, they came in for 6 free classes, and she worked with me. And then they went down to $2. Now, I did allow the Zumba instructor because she was coming in and allowing those 6 free classes, plus she was reducing her price, that if she brought in her own people, where she could make up. Because, you know, she's taking her time, but it didn't matter, that kind of fell. After the second class, it kind of...
I think the situation that we're in and the task that has been laid upon our shoulders, it's not that anybody wants to yank a room or yank a ballroom or take away from the Boys and Girls Club, but a huge task has been put on our shoulders
I know.
to make that center work.
I know.
If we don't make it work, we may not even have a center
I know.
in the future.
And I
So
understand that.
what we have to look at is, we gotta make money.
I know that.
And it's no reflection against kids, you, anything else. That center has to work. Whatever we have to do, we have to make it work to make money.
And that's why I'm here right now, Melissa,
I
because
understand.
the thing is I need to know what you guys are going to do, because if y'all have to rent that out and you're going to be bumping me this summer, then I'm going to think, well, I can't have my full program, or I can't have it there, and we're going to have to make changes.
But you see,
But we all need to learn, we're going to have to figure out how to work this out. And I can't wait to the last minute, you know what I mean, without knowing. That's why I'm here. I'm here to get information and to give you information.
But we also can't bump somebody who's ready to pay to rent it to allow something to not collect any funds, because we've got to have money to make it work.
But that's why I brought the resolution
I have
in.
it. I know
Yeah,
I have it.
So what do we do with that?
One of the things that I'm getting confused on, and I understand what the general term bump means, but I want to know, in relationship to our daily use, how do we bump them? In other words, do we come in and say, we've got an oil company coming in here on Monday morning at 9 o'clock and we need the entire facility? So shut down your entire facility that Monday morning?
No, not the.
No.
Or what do we do, what is it we're doing?
What it is, it's the rooms that we have the long room that we call the long room,
Right.
151, and that is the favorite room of the oil people.
Right.
And so
And
sometimes
we usually
Debbie,
have 3 classes.
during
set up
the
in there.
summer, they've already called me, they want to schedule like for June, July, like several days a week. But that's why Debbie's here, and that's why I'm here to tell me, okay, you let her use them or you not let her use them and put the oil field.
Well, and the problem is, Debbie, too, this is all kind of premature. We haven't even begun to start diving into this. We still have to get our heads wrapped around what kind of money do we even bring in from the event center? What are the expenses? And where do we need to be? So we don't even know where we're going with this yet, just because we haven't had a chance to even dig into it and know what's going on.
And that's
So-
making me nervous because I've already started.
We are,
Yeah, because
Debbie.
I've already started doing my summer program. I've already started getting my
But you
teachers
understand-
together, and I have to now.
And we do understand that, and
I have to
realize
start
that we certainly don't want to be the board that kicks the Boys and Girls Club out of the event center. I mean, that's not what we're here, but again, we do have a huge task ahead of us, and so there's not going to be changes overnight. I don't want to be I mean, there's not, but again, we are in the beginning stages
And
of
I
this.
think what you're actually getting to, and is a very, very good point, is that we do not have yet total control. The city is still managing the building. They will give us control as we get to a point where we can accept it and have policies and procedures in there to accept it. I can't go in and tell Andy Jocelyn right now, I want you to do this, this, and this. He can say, well, I'll think about it and we'll get back to you. Because he is still, by the city council's authority, still in charge. Now,